can update us on with Igor?
No, other than what you know. You know, it's IR right now.
When you hear that, I mean, it's kind of when it rains, it pours kind of situation.
Yeah, I mean, we don't like to see any of our guys not available, so that's obviously that's a big position, but you know, quick, he's ready to go. He's been waiting for games too. He's played really well this year, so we'll have to just utilize the bench.
Zach Jones is particularly frustrated.
Yeah.
What would your message be to him? Coming out of the lineup again, it looks like he's the seventh now.
Yeah.
Is that?
No, that's okay. Him being frustrated and wanting to play. I mean, I would expect anybody that's out of the lineup want to be in there and want to play. Any messages that I have for Zach, I'm not going to give to you. I'll give them to Zach, and talk with him directly. And we sit down, and when it did happen, there was conversation, and then there's always shifts shown, and with all players on post game on possible things they can do better, things they do well, things they can do better. Since then the roster has changed on the back end. Different players bring in different things. And that's the decision that we're at right now, and it's okay to be frustrated, and I'm perfectly fine with that. It's, everybody wants to play. You get to this level, everybody wants in, they want to play, and I'm okay with that.
With Zach as the seventh, or even with the extra forwards, I mean, is it just you got to wait till something happens and make a change, or do you always in the back of your mind feel like every X number of games are going to get a guy a game?
No, I just go day by day, and I don't put numbers on it either. I mean, we can only play 6 tomorrow. I'll pick those 6, and we'll go from there. But I've said this before, when the players do go in the lineup, we've got confidence that they'll get the job done, and confidence in their ability as well. But you have to make those decisions.
There have been multiple times where you've given up a couple of goals within like 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Is that indicative of anything? Is that like?
It's still happening, Larry. I mean, I haven't minded the way we started the game. I mean, when the first period was over against Florida, we played a decent period. I wish we did a better job on the first goal. I still don't disagree. I still don't agree with the second goal, but at the end of the day, they scored 2 goals and we're down and we're fighting back in the game. The same thing with the Tampa game. I thought our intentions, we came out in that first period and we're doing everything we could to play the right way, like to be on top of our game and play the right way. And come in that one, we're down in the first period as well. And so it's like I said, a lot of people are saying it's just frustrating right now. We just got to keep battling through that and working through that. I would much rather. I can't explain a goal going in or 2 goals going in at a certain period of time. I do think that we've been ready to start the last couple games, and with that, the scoreboard hasn't reflected.
Right. So when you play as well as you did in Tampa in the first period, you come out down 2-1, and then there are like 2 or 3 goals scored. Really very quickly again. So again, is that just an indication that there's just a lack of confidence in there as soon as something goes wrong?
I think that you can battle that at times through the course of a game. There's no question. Especially where we sit. We're in the business of winning hockey games, and we're not doing nearly enough of that right now. And so, getting that lead, building on that lead, making sure we start the right way tomorrow, making sure we bring good energy to the table, back to our building is really important. Something we talked about today. And yeah, I mean, that period turned pretty quick, but it turned differently than inside of that game. It was, power plays and chances to make a difference, or not getting it done in a different way. So at the end of the day, it's the same thing. And yeah, it's got to be better. I'm not sitting here saying it's okay. Nothing's okay right now. The starts have got to be on point. The discipline's got to be on point, especially teams on point, 5-on-5. So there's still things that we talk about all the time and where we need to be better and working towards that. And we need to put the throttle down and realize that these points are going to start coming our way now.
The Hedl-Cooley line How does it change with Berard there as opposed to, Copper?
Yeah, I mean, it was, well, I think Berard's a little bit different player than Capo. The line has been good. It had its best game, I think, last game. They just generated an awful lot of chances. Berard seems to be in the mix offensively. His hand seems to be in it, and they can be good. So it's definitely not the same player. It's a different player, younger player, and so we're working with that as well. But he brings speed, he brings enthusiasm, he brings a tenacity on the ice, and the plays are getting made. And so, like I said, right before we went on the power play, I think Will had 2 chances to score, make a difference in that game. That line was good.
You were asked about Phil versus maybe say Mika for the 6-on-5 at the end of the last game. I know you were asked about that after the game. When you're going through a stretch like you're going through, and you have game plans, you're not going to throw them out the window, but do you start to get to a point where you say maybe something radical, changing some personnel in a radical way would help?
I mean, short of using a timeout, he wasn't available. I mean, he was out there for 50 seconds. And so short of using a timeout, which I didn't want to use at the beginning of the power play, and then we never got a chance to afterwards after that. And so we took the fresh players on the bench and we put them out on the ice.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. Happy New Year.